I do it for the love first, peep the intentions, man. I spit game, but you never learn no lessons, man.
God damn, we back at it. Jack Harlow from Out of Nowhere is back at it with an album called Jackman. Now, Jack Harlow is coming on the rise ever since 2019 for me on my radar. And of course, 2020, we all know what What's Poppin' absolutely took over the world, especially on TikTok. It's like, I see that as one of the first songs where TikTok blew up a song and it made an artist popularize. And it made a lot of artists popularize over the last few years now. But yeah, Jack Harlow is definitely one of those first artists that got very popular off of TikTok. What's Poppin'. The remix What's Poppin' came out in early summer of 2020. I did a reaction to that, so definitely that's a throwback. If you want to check that reaction, I guess be link up here, right? Maybe a link in the description. So yeah, that's a throwback. 2020, 2023. Damn, time was flying by. But later in the year 2020, we got his first debut album. What was it? That's what they all say. Thoroughly enjoyed. I actually got the vinyl up there in the top left corner up there, as you can see. Thoroughly enjoyed that album. That was my favorite albums. Came out late, like December of 2020. Thoroughly enjoyed that album. Still listen to some of those songs to this day. And then last year in May, he released Come Home the Kids Miss You, which the album, I did a full album reaction to that album. It was alright. We all know First Class was a banger, of course, sampling of Glamorous, of course, blew up on top of the world. Also got the snippet on TikTok as well, blew up. And yeah, just the rest of the album just wasn't a hit as well as some of not only his earlier music, but also his first album. That's what they all said. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed that album. I even got a vinyl up on the wall. That shows how much I thoroughly enjoyed the album. But then yeah, the community responded. His dedicated fans, of course, was thoroughly enjoying the album. But everyone else that came up on him was like, this ain't hitting like the old music. That's what they all say. I tolerated at the time, but it was alright. But this album, Come On Kids Miss You, was just not hitting. And I was like, yeah, I personally agree that the first album was a banger. The second one, the community agreed. It was a couple of songs I still listen to this day. Obviously, First Class is a very popular song. That song is alright every now and again. Just get the vibe going, I guess you can say. But Young Carleezy, I still thoroughly enjoy. State Fair, the closing track, I still thoroughly enjoy. Song with Drake, I still thoroughly enjoy. And a couple other songs here and there, you're like, let me just little pop out and vibe to. I think that's what his intention from Jack Harlow for his second album was, for like a little vibe, a little turn up here and there. I love the production on the album, because a lot of production on the album is sampling older, like 2000 or 90s work, so I thoroughly enjoy that in that aspect. But just like overall, the consistency throughout the album was just not there. But from out of nowhere this past Wednesday, he said, I'm gonna come out swinging. No promo, no singles, no nothing. I'm gonna drop an album for y'all. And this is a 10-track album, just under 25 minutes long in total for the 10 tracks. So nice and short for your boys. So it's gonna be a nice little quick edit for me, so I don't have to be up till like 4 or 5 in the morning trying to get the video up. That's just my discussion. For me, hopefully I can get this up before 3 a.m. Maybe that's the goal, before 3 a.m. I have to stay up too goddamn late. But yeah, 10-track album. Jack Harlow from Out of Nowhere. No promo, no leading singles, nothing. Just from out of nowhere, just from out of the blue. So I'm very interested to see if he gonna go stay on the path in which he's been going with the poppy ass, riding the train, make as much money as he possibly can, or maybe he's coming back to his roots. I don't know. The cover art on the album is very gritty. Seems like a very throwback, maybe back to his childhood home or street, whatever the case may be, in the back of an alleyway with some trash cans on the back of a garage with a basketball hoop. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get back to his roots on this album. Nice little 10-track album. Maybe trying to get back to his roots. Maybe we're gonna continue on a popular trend that he's been on the last few years. I don't know. I mean, it's be seen. It's on the way we'll find out, right? So this is a full hour reaction review. It's gonna be a shorter one because it's only 10 tracks and it's less than 25 minutes long. But it's the full hour reaction review, which means it's gonna be a lot of jumps, cuts, and skits throughout the entirety of this video and the songs and stuff. It's not something I want to do. It's something I have to do because of YouTube and the record labels and copywriting and blocking videos, etc., etc. It's not something I want to do. It's just something I have to do to avoid copyright. Okay? Don't flame me, flame YouTube and the record labels. It's just something I don't want to do. It's something I have to do. With all that being said, grab your drinks, grab your snacks. It's time for full album reaction review to Jack Harlow, Jackman. All right, the first track we got right out the gate is Common Ground. It's the intro to a 10-track album that's very short. So let's see what he's gonna open up with this track right here. It's only a minute and 40 seconds long. It's a nice little quick intro.
Just talking about what I see. It's not opinion based. It's
Let's talk about I want to see. Okay, it seems like he might respond to the critics, to all the doubters, all the haters, saying he's falling off. He's falling off to the atmosphere. He's gonna be a pop artist. Let's see if he's gonna respond to that rhetoric. Let's see if he's gonna respond to that.
The suburbs are filled with Ebonics and trap sonics. Frat boys saying no cap, put racks on it. The dollars, white girls squatting, trying to get that ass popping. Caught back talking.
What's popping?
Dad's often recycling pajamas. Microsoft Office to complete their assignments. Never seen a hood, still can't help but have comments. Never had a combo with a kid from common ground, ain't that common.
Like common sense ain't that common anymore.
Condescending suburban kids growing up to be rap journalists writing urban myths about who they think is the best urban kid and who the worst is.
Okay, nice little shot there.
What secondhand babes spray in the gallery department. Anything to feel less harmless. Adderall private, it's all by design. And common ground ain't that common.
Okay, nice little intro track there from Jack Harlow. He did respond to his critics right now. He just been saying all these modern day hip hop critics that we got today are from the white suburbia who are smoking vapes and stuff, which I agree is like, don't vape out here, don't smoke, don't drink, don't vape, don't smoke weed, don't none of that. But that's my personal take, my personal stance on that. But yeah, he's just basically saying all these hip hop critics out here don't know what they're talking about. They just pop in a couple of CDs and they think they rule the world, to gain a little following, think they know everything about hip hop, etc., etc. Jack Harlow say, no, I know the real hip hop. I made a few songs you might not like here and there, but I'm making real music for hip hop because I love hip hop, and I think Jack Harlow definitely loves hip hop, and see if he's gonna continue to respond with that throughout the entire of this album. So Common Ground, a nice little intro track we got right there. Next track we got is They Don't Love It. Seems like it might be a continuation on of the last track because they didn't love the last album, but the album before that. Let's see what this track is all about. The track is less than 2 minutes long itself.
Like, I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Fuck buffing my nails.
Ooh, I like the vibe of this track. It reminds me like a I don't know if it's like the sample or like the production of the track itself, but it reminds me like an early 2000 songs. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is like sampling or something. Maybe I figure out that when the song plays on through, but I'm liking the vibe so far. Nice little vibe.
I'm trying to get buff, fuck shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff, and fuck the hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut, can't imagine that we gon' see though, I feel like she more of a CEO, or maybe she doing volunteer work in Rio, to be the most dominant ever, the hardest white boy since the one who rapped about vomiting sweaters and holding comments, cause I promise you I'm
shout out to Eminem.
They don't toss and turn in the fucking bed like him, cause they don't love it, they don't love it.
Ooh, into that chorus right there, okay?
Gonna get turned, fuck searching my name, dog, that's how you get hurt.
Ooh.
Fuck being likable, I'm trying to be unbreakable. I just realized that this whole game is takeable. If I
That's facts.
I used to look up to the people that I'm moving in front of. It's not that crazy anymore. My city used to become. I heard about the rapper that you claim was a mainstay. They had a nice run, but they never gonna maintain because they don't love it. They don't love it. They don't love
This chorus is a nice little vibe with the sample too in the background. I like it. And that's They Don't Love It. Thoroughly enjoyed that track. Like I said, right out the gate, the vibe of the track there and the sample that they used, the up-tempiness of the thoroughly enjoyed that. And once again, it was a little bit of a continuation on from Common Ground with the theme of people not liking his music, thinking he's going to be a sellout or just another pop artist. Where Jack Harlow once again stating that, nah, I'm here for the long run, I'm here for the long term, I'm here to create good music, good hip hop music. Might be a little pop here and there just to sell some records, make some more money, of course, but then they still out here trying to make good music and make good all around, full around hip hop music we come to love for the better part of 50 years. The 50-year anniversary was last year. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that track. They Don't Love It. The next track we got is Ambitious. What you ambitious about, Jack Harlow? Continue on the train be the next top known hip hop artist out here? I don't know. See what he ambitious about. Ooh. Got a similar vibe with the last track.
Ambitious, 14-year-old, grades going down.
Ooh. First off, but of course I paused it in between the tracks just to talk about the track, but the continuation on to the next track, and then they slowed it down, and that sounded like it's about to be a soul sample too. Y'all know how much I love soul samples, because you know my heart lives in the 90s boom bap era, and a lot of those songs samples soul songs from the 60s and 70s, a little bit of the 80s. Oh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it out the gate. We're only 8 seconds in the track. I'm liking it right out the gate, just for the sample alone.
Scuffed up kicks, Old Navy my apparel, and I'm coming to my girl like I'm sterile.
Nasty.
My whip, I was never meant to be a college applicant. Fuck, I look like going to college after this. Yeah, I'm gonna be front row at the Knicks. Wait until the world gets a load of this.
Ooh.
Mustache coming in, I really want a beard though. And I really think this might be my year though.
What, something like me?
No security, my brother's gonna step Will Ferrell, getting high, getting drunk, no more straight and narrow. A couple carrots in my ears, enough carrots for me. I'm feeling like the local scene finally cherishing me. But I'm still playing 1 p.m. sets at the festivals, looking at the crowd, they embarrassed for me. Jeez.
Damn. I like the storytelling you're dealing right now, though.
Dreams of being friends with my heroes. Now I'm Andrea Pirlo out in Europe spinning euros. FaceTime calls about God from Justin. I can't stop hustling. I can't stop hustling. I'm festival headlining, keeping them heads nodding. Not to be more active and less rhyming, but hell nah, I gotta show these boys who the best artists.
Okay. Nice little soul sample, y'all. Nice little soul sample. And that's ambitious. Thoroughly enjoyed that track. Like I said, from production alone, continuation from the previous track, and then slowing it down there, hit us with a nice little soul sample. I also enjoyed Jack Harlow's storytelling. He kind of brought us from like the beginnings of him rapping. He said he didn't see himself being a college student, so he just with the work on his craft, on his rap game and stuff like that, continue to build off, doing small shows, doing small tours, doing small festivals. People seeing that he's not the best out there, he's not comfortable, he's not the prime time that he is right now, but he continued to work, continue to grind and grow into the position he is today. And once again, responding to the criticism that he's the transgressions he might have been going through, or saying his music's not as good as it used to be, or just not as flashy, or whatever the case may be, whatever the critics may be saying. So like the story-driven, kind of the chronological story-driven telling that, goddamn, that Jack Harlow did right there at the title of the track. Thoroughly enjoyed that track. So right now, yeah, they're out the gate. But besides that, like the intro track trying to like lay out the land of the track, but they don't love it, and Ambitious, I'm thoroughly enjoying that right now. On to the fourth track we got is That Ight. It, literally, is that Ight? Is that Ight? See what this track is all about.
No airports and no flights. This is how I wanna live my life. Is that Ight?
Is that Ight?
We all got a little vice. No selfies, just say hi. I'm so healthy, alive. 4L weed, I'm same guy.
Think he switched it up with the little melodic right there? Came out the gate fire, and then just like, let me slow it down, hit y'all with a little melodic real quick. Let me just hit y'all with a little melodic real quick. Okay, Jack Harlow, with the melodic.
Looking to change lives, I already changed mine. Our ambition just ain't the same size. You pie size.
Talk about that last track.
100 times now, stop waiting for the inspiration. They say it's a flaw being impatient, but no breakups and no fights. Okay, maybe a few fights. We all gotta choose sides. No selfies, just say hi. Home, and I don't want no free jewelry. I don't want promo. I've been on the road since I turned 1-0 show. 100 people on set, used to be one GoPro. My lights, that's how I wanna live my life.
Is that Ight?
Wake up while the sun's still bright. This how I wanna live my life.
Is that Ight? Is that Ight? Gotta hit that for the one time. And that is That Ight? That track is like what the title of the track is. It's Ight. This is Ight track, man. nice little feel good, nice little vibe track there. Not too substantial like the previous two tracks were. Moving on to the next track we got is Gang, Gang, Gang. 3 gangs. You say gang 3 times, what appears? Crips and Bloods? Black Kings? Maybe? I don't know. Gang, gang, gang. See what this track is all about. That's what the sample's saying. Gang, gang, gang. Ooh.
Ride for my dogs, live for.
Ooh. Whatever sample they used, the way they distorted it, slowed it down, right out the gate, I like that. I like that.
Die for my dogs. Ride for my dogs, live for my dogs, die for my dogs.
Sample distortion is wild.
Did you hear about Marcus? Our Marcus? Yeah, our Marcus. A bunch of girls say he raped him in the back of some Target. They say he drove him back there.
Where is this track going? Right the game, I'm like, okay, this distortion, this production is very interesting so far, and I'm just like, where is this track about to go? Where is it about to go? Hold up.
Wait, which Marcus? Cause it can't be yes, our Marcus. One with perfect grades that has family in New Orleans. Yes, that Marcus. He's got 7 rape charges. My friend pulled me to the side like, did you hear about Kevin? Kevin who? Our Kevin. What happened? He got...
Before you continue on, what the hell Kevin do? Cause Marcus, holy. We ain't gonna talk about Marcus. We learned about Marcus, but What the hell Kevin got himself into?
They found a bunch of messages he sent to little kids.
Oh no, Kevin?
Nah, it's gotta be a different Kevin. Look, I'm telling you, it's Kevin that we've known since we were 7. Ride for my dogs.
Who's next? Marcus? Kevin? Who's next? Stacy?
Ride for my. Truthfully, it's family till it can't be. Gang till it ain't. Twins, but it depends. Brothers until something is uncovered. Unconditional love becomes very conditioned when push comes to shove. And years of camaraderie suddenly disappear. Almost like you never were here.
And that's Gang, Gang, Gang. Very, very interesting track. The sample, the way they distorted it was very good. The subject matter of the track, as you can see, was very, very, very interesting. But I think we all been in a situation where we had that one friend we all grew up with, and they hear something about them, they get arrested or they did something. He's like, no, it can't be them. It can't be them. The person that did this, the person that was so good at school, the person that was a star basketball player, they did that. Yes, nah, not him. There must be a different one. No, him. He did that. Yeah, I think we all got that one person or two in our life that did something wild. You just cannot believe that they actually did that. Very interesting track to put it on this album. That's very yeah, that's very definitely interesting to say the very least. The next track we got is Denver, Colorado. Let's see what this track is all about.
Walking past the homeless in a Rolex. Just got off the stage on the Today Show and I basically felt soulless. I've seen enough of me on this little screen. I've become so vain and insecure about everything. I'm hiding any sign of weakness from my guys. I don't want them second guessing with me, but the brags in my raps are getting less and less convincing. So I'd rather just.
I'm gonna pause it right here real quick, cause man, you know this track reminds me of? This track reminds me of Logic's Dark Place from his No Pressure album in 2020, which I also got the vinyl right there. Probably can't see because of the glare of the lights. But yeah, this gave me like big Dark Place vibes from Logic. Just like Jack Harlow talking about being on social media, him being a star, him self-reflecting and seeing everything about him. There was headlines, reading Twitter about him, whatever the case may be, and seeing, just scrolling. There's something that Logic has had to correct himself, because this man made himself depressed just by always being on social media, which he built himself up on being social media, and Jack Harlow is probably the same way. But it's just constant seeing all the positives, the negatives, the highs and lows, the receptions about him. I can definitely see how it could be in the dark place, especially with the release of his last album. And if people not really receiving it that well, I definitely see how the negative responses and negative feedback surrounding him can definitely mess up your mental health. You're always thinking about how the people perceive you in your work, because you love your work so much, and then having someone perceive you in a negative way just cannot affect your mental health too well. So this track definitely give me dark place vibes. But let's continue on.
I wrote that first verse in Denver back in September. It's January now and I'm feeling like myself again.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
But deep down I find myself wondering if the people that write about me or write about me sober and focused. I cannot walk down no deli alleys. I still got the fellas around me. I love them and tell them proudly. I'm looking out heaven's window. I know that there's hell around me.
And that's Denver. Thoroughly enjoy that track. Like I said, the first verse right there reminds me of Dark Place from Logic's No Pressure album. So I thoroughly enjoyed the perspective about that. So I'm not gonna get more into that. Definitely love the second verse. Second verse very contrast. Explains why the title of the track is Denver. He wrote that first verse in Denver when he was going down and out, going through it. Then later on, 4 months later, yeah, he said in January, so 4 months later, I guess in January of this year, I could see that I came out full circle, more positive, more thankful for everything he has, more thankful for his parents, his mom, his dad, the brothers, and the camaraderie he has around him. He takes pride in it. Even though it still might be a little chaos, might have highs and lows moments, he's still appreciative and grateful for everything he has. So I definitely enjoy that, the full circle moment they had there on the title of the track. Next track we got is No Answers. This track is under 2 minutes. A lot of under 2 minutes tracks on this album. It just explains why the album is under 25 minutes long. But No Answers. See what this track's about.
My homeboy just be cancer. I call my ex no answer. As in that's my nickname for her, cause when I call no answer, she know I'm a romancer. She only know her daddy. She walk around this cold world without no safety net or padding. Hit the scale, how we feel, break control inside a pill. Just to leave the crib these days has become such a skill. No, I make you laugh like no one else. You love my banter. I like my girl natural. She don't need no enhancements. She don't need no enhancements.
And that's No Answer. It's a nice little quick track there. That track was nothing too special. It kind of reminds me of Little Secret from his last album, Come On the Kids Mission. That kind of gives me the similar vibes to that. But yeah, nothing too crazy. All right, you might come back to that track maybe once in a blue moon or so, but it's nothing too special, nothing too crazy about that track. Moving down to the third of the last track on the album, It Can't Be. See what this track is all about.
It must be my skin. I can't think of any other reason I win. I can't think of an explanation. It can't be the years of work I put in. It can't be the way I treat people or how I make time to see people and make sure that they feel like we equals. It can't be the smile. It can't be the homage I paid. Nights when I could have left the studio early, but I stayed. It can't be the tone. It can't be the tribe and the Biggie and the Nas, the Outcast and the Missy and my iPod. It can't be the absence of any facade. It can't be some understanding or branding, or maybe that I'm outstanding, or all the South American fans that meet me at the airport upon landing. Especially when I didn't grow up on brandy. Especially when I'm having dinner in Frankfurt with Andy. Charmer, it can't be the lack of chinks in my armor. It can't be the poison when them boys try to harm us. It can't be that we built something to be a part of it. It can't be the swag I got when I walk in. It can't be.
Ooh, way to just drop that right there. That was nice. And that's It Can't Be. Thoroughly enjoyed that track. Definitely thoroughly enjoyed the perspective that Jack Harlow was giving there. People, I guess what he's trying to say, that people are disregarding like the effort, the work he put in. He name dropped Outkast, Brandy, a couple other artists I can't remember real quick. But he just referencing like, once again, it shows how much he loves hip hop, how much he loves music, black culture, etc., etc. So it shows how much he loves it, how much he samples it and references it, even in the case of a song like this. And people trying to disregard that. The only reason why he's famous is because of his pale skin, because he's a white person. It's easy to market a white person, the case may be. That's always a theory out there, which in some cases you can see is a proven theory, in some cases it's just not. So I definitely thoroughly enjoyed the perspective Jack Harlow was giving there. He's like, no, it's not. I'm not here because I'm white. It might be a small percentage, but it's not the totally case. It's the case of the effort I put in, the amount of hours I put in, the time that I reference people, pay homage to people, show love to people, etc., etc. So I definitely thoroughly enjoyed the perspective that Jack Harlow gave on that track. Down to the second to the last track we got is Blame on Me. What they blaming on you? What blame are they putting on you, Jack Harlow? What blame are they putting on you? Let's see and find out.
Blame on me.
These samples on this album is crazy. I love the samples on this album.
We grew up in the same household. For years we were close, throwing football in the yard till the lights turned on. It doesn't include any room for your little brother. I was destroyed, but I still loved you. I still wanted your approval. If I could get it, I'd cherish it. I'm gonna reminisce and ask you if you miss those days. But I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to hear your answer, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing. Grew up in the same household. For years we were close. One-on-one, I would dominate you in the post. Years past, treated you like I hated you, never needed you. Even if I had the same opinion, disagreed with you. But I know you remember the way that Dad would let loose on me more often and way less you. He criticized and tested me, so I test you.
Ooh.
I'm terrified of broaching the subject. I'm terrified to even ask, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
That's understandable. It's completely understandable.
You grew up in my household, under my roof. Raised you with discipline and taught you life's truth. My hot temper turned up full throttle, cause I needed you to be your little brother's role model. Everything that you do, he just gonna follow. Don't you understand? Cause the way I parent you is how my mother did. And the way you treat your little brother's how my older brother did. I'm terrified to break down, so I just don't touch it. I don't say nothing.
And that's Blame on Me. Nice little heartfelt track there between Jack Harlow and I'm assuming his little brother. He mentioned at the title of the track. It seemed like little disgruntledness and disagreements that they growing up together. Jack Harlow mentioned how his father would put so much hardship on him, and like Jack Harlow kind of put that hardship transition onto his little brothers out there. Definitely thoroughly enjoyed the perspective and the heartfeltness and outspokenness and then the intrusiveness that he brought there on that track. Editing Daytwan here, just wanted to mention real quick, and I'm just now noticing as I'm editing that the last verse there was coming from the father's perspective, and I like how the father's perspective was just rapping it out, how what he was teaching his sons and Jack Harlow and his little brothers, kind of his older brother, and also how his mother and father taught him. So it's kind of like a full circle, man. But I just want to mention that I didn't listen to that when I was actually recording in real time, but actually looking back as I'm editing, I'm like, oh, that's a nice little roundabout with the little brother as the first verse, Jack Harlow in the middle verse, and then his father as the last verse to wrap it up. All right, let's get back to the video. But now we're down to the last track on the 10-pack that we got from Jack Harlow and Jackman. Questions. What questions do you have for us, Jack Harlow? What questions do we have for you? I don't know. How you gonna close out this 10-pack? Let's find out. Samples, man. I'm telling you, the samples on this album is crazy.
Why I treat my brother like he ain't my only brother? Why I gotta treat my manager like I'm above him? Why am I so skeptical of God? Why do I pretend like I didn't see it when I saw it?
This man playing 21 Questions out here. Shout out to 50 Cent.
What if things don't turn out how I planned them? I wanna be more than just a random. What if all these people in my
NPC
life
out here.
fans? I'm sick of these little raps, I wanna make anthems. You feel me? What if I don't meet their expectations? What if I don't reach my destination? What if I don't live up to the hype despite all my dedication? Why do I feel I need approval from all my skeptics when I fill arenas up with a passionate following when that's actually all I need?
That's facts. That's all you need.
What would I say with the barrel aimed at me staring down it? I rep the state, but do they care about me in Barron County?
That man Jack Harlow is playing 21 Questions right now. Someone comment down below how many questions that man asked on that song. I'm expecting, I'm gonna give my estimate between 45 to 50 questions to probably ask on that track. But definitely comment down below if someone counted how many questions that man asked. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. No, that's just a simple track where you just like question everything around you, question yourself, people around you, question your fans, question your critics, etc., etc. Just got questions for everybody and see what the perspectives are, what the information is, and maybe it brings you some kind of recollection. But at the end of the day, probably won't give you any positive or negatives. If anything, probably give you more negatives than positives. But yeah, questions to close out the 10-pack. Jackman from Jack Harlow. I thoroughly enjoyed this, man. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed this from Jack Harlow. It's definitely a nice comeback album from him. Definitely a lot of good high tracks on here. It's less than 25 minutes long. A lot of the tracks on this album was under 2 minutes long, so that makes sense on why the 10-pack was under 25 minutes long. Yeah, nice little return for him. He didn't go like too crazy on tracks. But he definitely did a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspectiveness on this track. Like I said, one of the tracks, Denver, like I said, reminds me a lot of just Dark Place. How the first verse is him coming with the criticisms that he was receiving and being on social media, seeing all the headlines about him, and then having a full circle moment and seeing recognize that what's truly good for him, what's truly great for him. Definitely enjoyed that track. Some other tracks I like was They Don't Love It and Ambitious back to back. It's kind of like two songs back to back. Also with I guess you could add on It Can't Be, for him mentioning the critics and the criticisms he received over the last few years, especially with his last album. I mentioned Denver. It Can't Be, like I said. The other tracks, Common Ground, like I said, it's an intro track. There's not too much there. Kind of sets the tone for the album. It's Ight. Is That Ight? Is an Ight track. Like I think I mentioned, it reminds me of A Little Secret from Come On, the Kids Miss You. Gang 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 is probably my least favorite on the track, because that track is like, it needs to be said, because it's kind of like I said, mentioned, we all have those people in our life we can't believe they did something egregious, but they actually ended up doing it. No Enhancers. What was it? No Enhancers? Or No Enhancers was the track that reminds me of A Little Secret. Either way, No Enhancers is alright, nothing too crazy about it. And then Blame On Me, like I mentioned, is a nice little introspective track between Jack Harlow and his little brother. So a nice little alright album from Jack Harlow. No? You know, I still have That's What They All Say. I still have that vinyl. I think that's still number one for me from Jack Harlow. I definitely put this album, Jackman, even though it's shorter, it's a different kind of album, and it's not kind of like a full-length album, as you can say, from the previous two works of arts that he did over the last few years. But I definitely put this over, it doesn't have bangers per se, but like overall as a collective project, it's definitely a lot better than Come On, the Kids Miss You. Last thing I want to mention real quick is that I thoroughly enjoyed the production on this album. Like I said throughout the time, it was the samples. The samples on this album go absolutely insane. The samples fit the track so much well, whether it's like the sample saying the actual word or the title of the track is about, or just referencing the subject matter of the track. I just thoroughly enjoyed the samples and the way they flipped it right there. Shout out to whoever produced this. I'm not sure who exactly produced this album. It was Jack Harlow, a combination of a team of different producers. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed the production on this album, just from the samples and the soulfulness and the classicness that even Jack Harlow mentions. You mentioned Nas and Biggie Smalls, so just like the 90s boom bap style of sampling with the soul samples. I thoroughly enjoyed that on this album. Let's continue on with the video. Yeah, definitely let me down below what y'all think about this album. If you're a diehard Jack Harlow fan, do you think he came back to his roots on this album? Do you think this is better than his previous 2 works of albums? Do you think it's definitely better than Come On, the Kids Miss You, but not as good as that's what they all say? Definitely comment below. But like I said, some of my favorite tracks are, once again, They Don't Love It, Ambitious, Denver, It Can Be, and Questions to round it all out. So half the album I placed it, and I think I'm going to return to throughout the entirety of this year, see what they rank on my favorite songs of the year, etc., etc. Yeah, if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd give it like a solid 7. You know, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too explosive, nothing too artistry, but it's definitely very introspective. Definitely a nice little comeback album for Jack Harlow. Kind of set the record straight for what the feedback and dissenters and incentives you might have received from basically the last year's. This is the last album to Come Home, the Kids Miss You. But definitely comment below what y'all your favorite tracks. What would you rate it? Amongst the Discovery, how would you rate it out of 10, etc., etc. Jack Harlow, Jackman, nice little comeback album for Jack Harlow. Interested to see how the words receive this from a Jack Harlow fan. Hip hop Twitter, hip hop Reddit, whatever the case may be. It's gonna be interesting to see how the world receives this and where we go from here from Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow, Jackman, thoroughly enjoyed it. So, if you like it, please like the video. I got more content like this always coming soon, so please subscribe. What time is it? 9 minutes till 1 a.m. Hopefully, like I said earlier on, hopefully I can get this up by 3 a.m. See how fast I can edit this thing. Y'all praise me for editing my videos fast and getting it up so fast. Let's see how fast I can get this up. It's a nice little short album, so it allows me to get the nitty gritty real quick. See how long we got this up, but. Jackman from Jack Harlow, I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. It's going to be interesting to see where he go from here. It's a nice little comeback album from him. I'll see y'all next video. Peace.